Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got Brooklyn's beloved DJ Goldfinger in the building.
What up, world?
Got to give a big shout out to our boy DJ Never. Rest in peace, brother. Never
Always.
forever.
Yes, sir.
And we have invaded the Sound Collective studios here in New York. We got a special guest. He's been bridging hip-hop and South Asian culture for over 3 decades, from rocking parties, 90s, 2000s, to mixtapes, to launching his own DJ agency, production company, DJ USA. He's partnered up with brands like Adidas, Foot Locker, New Balance, Remy Martin, Cadillac, and more.
Sheesh.
He's an official heavy hitter, repping New York to the fullest. We're proud to have Queens' finest in the building, DJ Sharad.
Yeah.
What's up?
Sharad, what's good, sir?
I'm having a great day, man.
Yeah, you have. It's fucking hot in New York.
It's hot, but I'd rather be like this temperature than cold. So
Really?
I'll take this any day.
So you grew up in Queens, right?
No.
Where?
I grew up, so I was born in Queens. I was
Yeah.
born at St. John's Hospital. My parents lived in Corona, and when I was 1 year old, we moved immediately. Queens
Long
was
Island.
getting hectic back then.
Yeah.
My parents made a little money, and they moved us out to Long Island immediately.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But I never lost love or left Queens in the sense of I was physically gone from Queens, but we lived in Long Island, and every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'd be back in Queens because that's where our temple was. That's where the heart of Indian culture was. So Monday through Friday, I'm in Long Island. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're spending our weekends in Queens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, what the fuck was going on? Corona was just too crazy? It was just wild?
It was getting like, think about Indians coming here in the 70s, which is when my parents came here. They landed in JFK, suitcases. Left Rack was real close. So they came to Left Rack.
Right.
Left Rack is the home of many people from my specific background. I'm Sindhi. So a lot of Sindhis, one Sindhi family lands, and I'm sure you've seen this with other ethnic groups, like you got an apartment, it's cheap, it's good, it's safe, cool. Call up your friends back home. Everyone landing was coming to Left Rack.
Oh, wow.
But Left Rack soon changed, like fast, because Left Rack started allowing in, I guess it became like government housing. Like part of the apartments were becoming like lower income or no income housing. So eventually became like great to hood real fast over the like 2 years.
Wow.
So my parents, they had to move, and they moved to Nassau County, East Meadow.
So wait, how were you tapped into like hip hop and the DJ culture out in the Long Island?
I grew up in a predominantly Italian blue collar neighborhood, and when you grow up in that and there's very few people of color,
Yeah.
the people of color kind of stick together.
Now, what years are you talking about?
Talking about high school, so I'll talk about like junior high school, like figure 7th, 8th, 9th grade, like that, like early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay.
Yeah, so Criss Cross was out, MC
Yeah.
Hammer was out, Vanilla Ice, there was that.
Right.
Like, that was the introduction for me, like that type of stuff.
And y'all still tapped in with like Hot 97 and all that shit, right? In Long Island or no?
I mean, it works out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out there. But there was like a few black kids in my school, a few Puerto Ricans, a few Indians, and a few Asians.
Right.
And all of us kind of stuck together. So I was always tapped into hip-hop. I loved hip-hop from the beginning. When I started DJing, like hip-hop were my first buys.
What like inspired you or motivated you to DJ?
That goes a little back. So part of Indian culture is we party every weekend. It's like part of our culture. Like everybody is family. Like you got a family friend, they're your cousin. So every weekend someone would be hosting something, whether it be in the house, whether it be in a restaurant, but there was always something to go to. That's why we were always going back to Queens every weekend. So like so-and-so's birthday party, so-and-so's wedding, so-and-so's this, so-and-so's that. So every weekend we'd go to a party. And every weekend there'd be a DJ at the party. And the DJ was the man. The DJ was the man. And I would always find myself like hanging out with the youngins and then eventually make my way to the DJ booth.
Wow.
And what were they playing?
It was everything. It was Indian music for sure.
Yeah.
But back then, Indian music wasn't as accessible as it is now. You'd have to have tapes or CDs. I think this might be the pre-CD era. This is like tapes, vinyl. So it was a lot of American stuff too.
just like mixing disco and all this shit together.
Everything, everything from
Michael
like Donna
Jackson,
Summer, Michael Jackson, Kool and the Gang, but then Bollywood cuts like Abje Sakoi and movie soundtrack songs.
Who's like a pop artist that really resonated at the time when you were growing up with like Indian culture?
Michael Jackson.
Hands
down. I mean, I had a Michael Jackson jacket with the zippers,
You would thrill it out.
Oh, I love Michael Jackson, man.
Yeah. And hip hop, who did you look at that point?
Hip hop early. So my introduction to hip hop was like Fushnikins, Tribe, Black Sheep,
typical New York shit.
Bro, I was in love with that. That to me, not just the music, but everything about hip hop was so cool to me. It was the coolest shit. And my dad had a store by Canal Street. My dad had a little deli that was smaller than this room. And every weekend, I would go help him at the deli. And I would go to Canal and buy mixtapes. And then I'd take those mixtapes and I'd duplicate them, bootleg them, and I'll sell them to all the white kids in my school.
In Long Island?
For like $25.
Which mixtapes were they at the time?
They might have been Capri tapes.
Right.
Everybody sold a Capri tape.
Yeah, old school, like the old school Volume 1 and like 52 beats
like
and shit.
Crazy shit, man. Like, there was a tape with like, I forgot who did the tape, but it was like, it was Kid's tape. It was the one with Something With the Way You Make Me Feel on the tape. And that was like, just like, I was doing that and taking all that stuff back to Long Island. And, I just fell in love with the culture, but I always stayed tapped into my culture as well. So I was kind of living this
double life.
Yeah, not a double life, I would say, but like the duality of like trying to learn both and understand both cultures. And
so when you were doing parties, what kind of parties? Was it mostly like all Indian community kind of, or was it like mixed?
There's a promoter who you probably heard of named Gungi.
Yes.
John Gungi Rivera.
Yes, sir.
He ran the Spanish scene. He probably still does parties. Gungi had a night with Ted Smooth DJing at China Club. But Gungi would always start a party, and then after like a year, the party would a little bit fizzle out. The promoters I connected to at the time could bring 200, 300, 400 kids like that. So Gungi got hip to it and was like, yo, you know what? Bring your DJs. I'll give you guys a guest list and bring your crowd. And you guys could DJ from 10 to 12. So I would get hired to DJ for like $50, and I'd DJ from 10 to 12 when the club was empty. And then whoever the headliner is would go on. So that was the beginning of the Indian party scene as to what I know in New York City.
Wow. In Manhattan?
In Manhattan, yes.
Wow.
That was the same time I was going to Planet 20. It was like right in that same, like if we ever go, like we'll go through a flyer book, but it's like that was June, this was January, like it might have been.
From your recollection, from your knowledge, that was the first Indian party in Manhattan?
No.
Oh,
they were before me. Two DJs before me was DJ Magic Mike, who is an absolute like legend in the Indian community. Magic Mike was the first guy to throw parties. Like he would rent out Supper Club and put like 1,000 bodies in there.
Oh, wow.
And then another DJ, so Magic Mike was Gujarati, that's North Indian. He would do parties and bring in artists and pack the shit out, or just do it with DJs and pack it out. Just himself DJing really and his crew. And then another DJ I think they were from Flushing, DJ Ladla. So Ladla and Magic Mike had the scene in a chokehold. They were the only ones there. So they would throw in the first original parties. And then me and my like era came next.
All right. In Manhattan, SOBs used to have a big time night there. Who used to do those?
That was DJ Rekha. That was a Bhangra party. So that was Punjabi.
Bhangra. It was a Bhangra party.
Yeah, that was a Bhangra party. You said that great, by the way.
Thanks.
So Bhangra is the music.
Not like me. I mispronounce all this shit.
Bhangra is the music of Punjabis, right? So DJ Rekha, female DJ, did her parties at SOB. She had it running for 15 years.
Wow.
And it was Bhangra, and then she had a DJ that would do reggae called DJ Eddie Stats. Eddie Stats, I'm sure he's still around. I think he used to write for The Fader. He was like a white kid that did reggae, if I'm not mistaken. So she put him in position to do like the times that were not Bhangra music. That kind of ran its course, and that had a big run. But I came in and we just took over the scene. Like we built the scene to another level.
What year was that around?
I started doing the parties in like 96 where I'd work for promoters. By 97, I was like, fuck this. I ain't getting $50. Like it's all my people. It's all my friends. So what were you doing? Like you were like a sub promoter? In the beginning, like we didn't understand what sub promoter was, right? It would be like, oh, I'm DJing, come through, right? The promoters essentially were not using us, but we were building the crowd together. Right. Eventually, those promoters, it wasn't sustainable for them because they were the sub promoters for like the bigger promoters. So the big promoters that were having a dying room would call in the Indians for the bailout, and we'd get like the club on its way out.
Yo, roadies and roadies for life. You already know that we rock heavy with DJ City. It's our go-to record pool to download the latest music, edits, and remixes for our DJ sets. So now, Road listeners can join DJ City for only $10.
$10?
Only $10. That's almost 70% off the first month. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description or go to djcity.com/offer/road to jump on this great deal.
See, that's something like we need to talk about kind of in the 90s and 2000s. In New York. It was kind of like the stages of a nightclub. Yeah. And like the ethnicities and the races that were allowed to inhabit that venue, right?
100%.
It was like
white first.
White first.
Yeah. And everybody else after.
And then like maybe on a Sunday, like you'd have a black night or hip hop night.
Nah, not that fast. Not that fast.
It would be a while.
It depends on what type of white night it was before we got a shot in. They definitely did a Spanish night before they did a black night.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Probably.
Hell yeah.
I guess it depends on the location too, though.
It depends on the spot. It depends on the spot. How white were they? And how nice the spot was. It had a lot of factors on it.
The sad and fucked up shit is if a club had like a hip hop night on a Sunday, like the first year it was open, you were kind of like, oh, this shit's gonna close.
No,
this club
they weren't having a Sunday night.
No. But I'm saying if a club that just opened in the span of a year or so,
if they had a hip hop night, period.
If they had a hip hop night on
they were like, this shit is not gonna. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last.
Okay, so you're saying the first stage is white, the second stage is like Latin,
definitely,
and then the third was black.
No, it would either be Asian or like.
No, I think Asian is last.
No, it's not.
Asian
it's not.
I'll tell you a story. It's not. You remember Club?
It depends on a white club. It depends on a white club.
No, you're crazy.
It depends on a white club. I can give you a couple of clubs that.
Remember Club New York?
Yes.
Okay, Club New York had a guy named Eric Funk that used to run. A white guy, tall. He also had Club New York on 40 something, and he had a spot in the Upper East Side called Voodoo Lounge. So two spots that Eric Funk ran. I connected to him when I was doing all these parties, and I started renting out Club New York for my parties. My parties would always end in a fight. Every party that I threw that was 18 and over.
Really?
Yes, because Indians were wild. And in Indians, there was like internally gang culture.
Really?
Yes.
What's the gang culture?
Pakistanis from Queens. They had a crew called Medina Boys. And they were the Muslim kids from Queens, and they were, their parents came here with nothing, and they were hood.
Now, what years are you talking about as far as this?
Mid-90s, like 96 to 2002. So the Pakistanis would come and support my parties. They would spend a lot of money. They would buy a lot of alcohol, so they would come. But then the Punjabis from Jackson Heights, Flushing, they had a crew called PBN, Punjabi by Nature. They would also come. Later, other groups and quote-unquote gangs would come through. And that was, remember, the South Asians were so isolated from everybody else for a really long time. That's why, like, I know who you guys are, but you might not know everything about our scene because we were so internal. Like, it would be a mainstream night at a club on one night, and then eventually we'd get the off night. Yeah. Like, we'd get the Thursday or whatever. But we did the hottest clubs. We just do it on the off night.
Now, he said Club New York. We didn't get Club New York until...
Oh, I got it towards the end. Trust me.
No, you got it towards the end, but after y'all guys did it, then we did it.
No, I think it was the same time.
You think?
Yes, yes.
Because mine was like 99, 2000.
Goldie.
We were same era, same time. I got it right after.
Okay. Goldie, you're 100% wrong because...
Damn, no, I'm not.
Wait. Asians and South Asians are at the bottom.
No.
We're at the bottom.
So Eric Funk, this is what Eric Funk said.
Yeah.
So my party, I was killing parties at Club New York, and then I needed to do a smaller party on Saturdays where it would be mixed, where it couldn't just be Indian. Indian people wanted to start fucking with other people too.
Right.
So he had like an Armenian party, which was also their crowd is crazy. He had an Armenian party that was light at Voodoo. So he gave me Voodoo to DJ at, and it was cheap cover. It was like $10, and he'd give me $250 to DJ, and he'd also give me the door on every South Asian that walked in.
Wow.
Right? Like no guest list needed. Like if they're South Asian, they're going to you. Just put your door person there to monitor. Cool. So I'll be making $250 to DJ, but then if I bring 200 people in, that's like $2,000.
That's good money in the 90s.
I was making thousands by 97, 98, 99 because I figured out how to throw my own parties and not rely on promoters.
Right.
I stopped relying on promoters a couple years in. But Eric Funk once told me when one of my parties ended in a massive fight, Heineken bottle gets hit over the bar, Armenian kid goes at the Pakistani kid, bloodshed, cops, crazy, wild, night's over, party's finished. At the end of the night, Eric Funk says to me, Sharad, I love you, you're a great DJ, but fuck you and fuck your parties. And I'm like, what you mean, bro? He's like, you're never coming back here again. Don't ever call me, delete my number. Like, your parties are fucked up.
Guess who got blamed for it?
Your people are fucked up. Then he said, he goes, I thought you guys were good because you're from Long Island. Like, you know, I was bringing Long Island kids and Jersey kids and Queens kids. He's like, you guys are worse than the black parties. And he's like, no more black parties, no more Armenian parties, no more Indian parties. Fuck all you guys. Because remember, that was, I think Club New York had the whole shooting, the Shine shit.
Right.
At the same time.
Let's not bring that up. Let's not bring that up.
Were you there?
That was my party.
Wow.
That's why I was asking you the timeline.
That was the same timeline.
But y'all had it before us.
It
that
all
proves
happened
my
simultaneously.
Point. That proves my point. They were there before
I
us.
might have had a Sunday. You guys might have had a Friday.
No, we had Sunday.
Okay.
Y'all guys had Friday, Saturday, or whatever.
I had one Sunday that we did together then, because my Sunday did 3,000 people in a 900-person venue.
Wow. So wait, we're still not clear on who's the worst crowd.
Listen, they put us up with the worst, and it wasn't really Indian, right? Yeah. It was South Asian. So the South Asian demographic has a lot of different groups. So the Indian kids come from calmer households as a whole. Like we were from the suburbs. You know, we had a lot of just good kids that wanted to party, but then when you mix in with like the hood ass kids from Queens,
right,
and Brooklyn. Like that's Bengalis from Brooklyn.
But that's kind of your door person's fault, right? They got to kind of regulate the door.
Door
right?
person. You know, how much do you have? 25? Cool. You're coming in. 50? Cool. You wearing Tim's? Cool. 80. Come in.
But y'all fucked it up for everybody now.
We did, and that's what Kunal talked about. Like there was no sustainability for us. Like because we just rinsed. We killed the scene and made so much money.
Y'all got greedy.
Look.
Wait. How did you amass this huge following?
AOL.
Explain that.
AOL and mixtapes at the same time.
Okay, so you were making mixtapes.
Hell yeah.
What were these mixtapes?
My mixtape started with hip hop and house.
Yeah.
And quickly, within a few years, I fell in love with urban Desi music. That was Indian music that was influenced by hip hop.
Urban Desi music.
Urban Desi music, yep.
Explain Desi.
Desi is just a representative of the South Asian culture. So like, you know, when people say Latino, what are you? Could be Puerto Rican, you could be Dominican, you could be Mexican, but you're part of the Latin diaspora. When you say Desi, you're representing
all of South Asia.
The South Asian culture. So
not just Indian.
Yeah, Indian's the subcontinent, the big piece of land. If you look at the map, right next to it is Pakistan, the other side is Bangladesh, down south is Sri Lanka. Like that whole region is South Asian. So I fell in love with, I was always loved South Asian music.
Right.
But when the DJs started fusing the shit together early ahead of me, and the producers started making music that was like, yo, this reggae beat with this Punjabi vocal, oh my God. Yeah,
you was talking about Demarara, you know, like those rhythms that was out at that time.
I have versions of like Saddest Day. Wayne Wonder, right? But with like Indian vocals. Or like an 88 BPM record that goes with that.
Right.
And so I was taking those records and mixing in the shit that I was getting from the South Asian producers or DJs that were putting out mixtapes.
When did that start emerging around? What year?
It started coming out in the 80s, like late 80s.
Really?
Yes.
We were talking about the South Asian influence on hip hop.
It was a nice wave. It was a nice wave.
The 2000s was the craziest time.
Yeah,
Timbo. Pretty much Timbo.
Well, there
shit.
was like there's so
There's
much.
a lot.
There's so much in the 2000s.
Yeah, but Timbo really like
Timbo had the
Indian
hits.
Flute and
He had the hits.
who produced React? Eric Sermon.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
produced that?
Just Blaze.
Okay, that was Just Blaze, right? So yeah, that whole sound,
I think 2002 was a pivotal year. You had like Truth Hurts, Addictive.
big story with that record too.
Yeah. What's
DJ
the story? Yeah. Well, they got sued,
They
right?
never cleared the sample.
Right.
So
And
like you can't find Truth Hurts Addictive on any streaming platform.
now you can, I think.
You can?
I think they settled something. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
But there's a good what, like 10 years where it was gone?
I think so. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a long
I think they
time.
took it off the shelves.
Yeah. It was, and that was the label saying like, you can't just take our shit.
Right.
That was a Lata Mangeshkar record. She's the biggest singer
And Lata
ever.
Mangeshkar is also the sample source for Big Pimpin'.
I don't know. Is that right? Yeah, Juicy confirms that for sure.
So what do you think is one of the first remixes or like samples of
Because that was a big
kind of
deal.
South Asian music?
I don't even think it's the first sample. I think the one that resonates the most, obviously, which love it or hate it, is Mundiato Bachike. Was like the one that just blew our shit up.
Ooh.
Beware of the Boys.
Oh, okay. The Punjabi record.
Punjabi MC.
Punjabi
MC.
Let's say it together, fellas.
Punjabi MC.
Yes, that was
Punjabi
the.
MC.
I can't call it the first, but that was the one
That was the turning point.
that just made our shit. Like when I turned on Hot 97 and heard Hove over that,
Yeah.
it was like, are you fucking kidding me? We're here.
Right.
Yeah, but
This is it.
he actually made
They're
a couple
fucking
of,
with us.
He actually made a couple of records that touched those. Big Pimpin'.
Yes.
He did the bounce.
The Bounce with Kanye.
Oh yeah, that was
He
great.
did- he did
that
a
was a
couple.
sample too. That was Choli
Yeah.
Ke Piche was the sample on that. Choli Ke Piche
But
was
that whole era, even like Missy Get Your Freak On.
yeah, all that. It was
yeah.
it was a great sound, and that I think that enabled people that were into like global culture or like really dive into it more.
Right.
Like we were like looking for more stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
but the 2000s era must have been the best era for like any type of South Asian party, because there was even like 50 Cent Candy Shop and like
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yes.
Like
Pussycat
Scott
Dolls and
Storch.
shit. Yeah.
all
Yes,
that.
there was
All that
the-
was
the
influenced.
little riffs and the samples were
It
all coming
everything
through.
had that South Asian sound. I don't think anyone really kind of acknowledges that. It was really influencing a lot of beats and records in the 2000s.
Absolutely. I think Mobb Deep did a bunch of samples too.
Yeah.
Like there was just so much throughout the years.
Tell me this though. How do you feel about these? Like, it seems like people are influenced and they want to put out the records, whatever. But how much of it is kind of like, yeah, but that's not really the real shit? Do you ever get like offended
Never.
when somebody kind of like uses the sounds, or it's not authentic? Maybe it's like appropriation a little bit.
Nah, it's art, man.
Okay.
You can't be offended at art. Like if you're in art and you do art and you're an artist, then creative expression is really important. And you might not have to know everything, but the fact that something could have been done 20 years ago and we're still talking about it today means that it did something to everyone in this conversation. So that's art.
That's dope.
It's also an acknowledgement of
but-
of a culture.
But not
that,
all acknowledgement is satisfactory, or
It's cool because we were so not on the radar. Like, put it this way, bro. Remember anyone follow baseball?
Yeah.
What's the Cleveland team right now?
Indians.
Indians.
Are they
Or
still
they're
the
not
Indians?
the Guardians,
The Guardians, right?
right?
So the Cleveland was the Indians at one point.
Right.
We were so underrepresented as South Asians in New York City and in this country that we bought Cleveland Indians jerseys to wear to our parties. Like I would be wearing, like everyone would be wearing Yankees jerseys.
Wow.
I would wear Indians jerseys just because it said Indian on it.
Wow.
Because there was nothing for us.
Right.
Wow.
There was nothing created. So like the first time I saw a soccer jersey with the India logo on it or Indian flag on it,
Yeah.
or Juicy has an Adidas jacket with the Indian flag on it, we were like, wow, we got to cop that.
Right.
We got to wear that instead. But like the first India Day parade, like, we have the Puerto Rican Day and Parade. We have the India Day parade. The first India Day parade party I DJ'd, or the float I DJ'd on, I bought my whole crew Indians jerseys.
Wow.
Just because we had nothing else. It was like, we didn't want to wear Indian clothes.
Yeah.
'Cause that wasn't cool. We were hip hop, but we were also Indian. So how do we So we wore Indians jerseys.
It's such a different time, like Goldie. Like when I think about it and we talk about it now, like there was no representation in movies or TV
at all
for like Asians and South Asians at all. I think I never saw like a Korean person on TV. You know, maybe MASH. You know, like you saw like somebody in the background in MASH, but like. I think the first time I was like, wow, this is like the first Korean American I've ever seen was like Bobby Lee, the comedian, or Margaret Cho.
Oh, she's dope.
You know, so like for us, I was like, holy shit, like this motherfucker's talking about like the American experience of a Korean person, and no one's sampling Korean music. So I can just imagine if I was Indian and I was hearing Bollywood samples and hip hop, I would be going to fuck off. I would be like,
yes,
I would be like so proud. I'd be like requesting that song all the time, and that's what happened when fucking Punjabi MC came out with the remix "Beware the Boys" with Hove.
Yeah.
We were playing that shit like four times a night, and then to see all these other races,
fuck with it,
and ethnicities, like white people requesting that shit and going to fuck off, black people, Latinos, like that's really that gives you a sense of pride.
No, I dig it, but I'm just saying, like, even for like black people,
I dig it.
No, because I love the song and I was definitely into it and stuff. But what I'm saying is, like, sometimes your representation is not always positive.
Yes.
Even you might absorb it as it being
right.
You know, I see myself, but it's not really you.
But I think that's the Truth Hurts incident. I think.
But remember, we were also trying to find ourselves. Imagine I told you, like, I was one Indian into hip hop. So I was, on my off nights when I wasn't DJing, I was going to black clubs. I was going to Spanish clubs. I was trying to understand that world. So to just see non-South Asians, even if they don't know what is being said in the song or what this content is about, the fact that non-South Asians were enjoying it, to us was, at that time, the representation we needed. And over time, the producers and the DJs would carry the scene and build out catalogs on catalogs of mixtapes and mashups and remixes and original production. That gave us the hope to be like, we could walk in the door. Guess what? It's now 2025. In 2023, Ty, Rock Nation, Jay-Z's guy, you know, he's his right-hand man. Ty starts an Indian label in India. Think about what I'm telling you. And when I sat with his label, Desi Trill, it's him and a guy called Shabs, who was part of So Solid crew out of the UK, which was a UK garage crew. They were like, this is a black guy and an Indian guy that partnered up in a label to push South Asian music coming out from all over the globe. They're like, we can't allow Punjabi MC's record to be the only thing that represents us. We have to continue to create and build more. But it took the last 20 years for that to build. So now you got Nas has a label in India. Did you know that?
No.
Nas has the biggest hip hop label in India. Nas and a guy called Peter Bittenbender. He owns Mass Appeal. It's a white guy and a black guy that are thoroughly invested in Indian hip hop. There's a label called Mass Appeal in America, and there's a label called Mass Appeal India that's global.
Didn't know that.
That's why I'm here to tell our story from a perspective of like I've been part of this shit.
Yeah.
I study this shit.
Hey, yo, what's good? This is the R.O.A.D podcast, Reflections of a DJ. We're here in New York City, and we have invaded the Sound Collective. Now, I want to explain what the Sound Collective is. I got my man Lefty from the Sound Collective here. Lefty, thank you for having us and hosting this beautiful studio for us. Exactly what is the Sound Collective here in New York?
Modern, state-of-the-art facility with tons of production gear. And one side of it is you can be a member and you can come here and pay monthly to use the rooms and the gear and sign out time and our space. We have a state-of-the-art studio. We have all these production stations, DJ stations, instrument practicing rooms and such like that.
And you also like teach. You have like classes and sessions, right?
We have intensive programs, short-term programs that people can come and take Saturday classes on DJing, production.
There's like kind of a community building within where there's like DJs, producers, musicians.
Up and coming producers, people honing their craft and learning, and DJs and all these things. And they come here and practice, and we have all the new gear, so they come to check that out and get familiar. And a lot of DJs will come in from out of town and be like, let me get a day pass so I can just get a refresh on the 3000s and the V10.
And what's great is that a lot of our guests, everyone from like Clark Kent to the technician to like Camilo, they come in here and they're just like, holy shit.
You want to play with all the gear, man? Yeah.
I didn't even even realize this, but you guys have like studio spaces where people can do live streams and they can do their Twitch streams.
Yep. We got a whole green screen set up already, multicam, full on switcher. Like we also do a lot of events here. We're bringing a lot of outside talent, organizations. We got a big event coming up with DJ City, Beat Source, and Sharad.
That's part of our family.
Yeah. We did a big one last year with them. We got another one coming up.
For our listeners, is there any way we could hook them up with a deal, or, you know, like if they put in a R.O.A.D podcast code?
Yeah, tell me about it. What else do you have in vision for this deal? It sounds like we're well on our way. Why don't you tell them?
You're working with us where they can type in a code for like R.O.A.D.
Yep.
And they'll get a month free, right?
Yeah, on our online platform. We have a whole online platform with like masterclass style education.
Nice.
Different categories and everything, instruments, drums. I mean, and then we have these things that we're launching right now called Pro Paths. So you can choose, like if you're a producer, you can take the Ableton Pro Path, the Logic Pro Path, you know, Serato Studio. Goes through a wide variety of knowledge besides just stuff in that skill set and discipline.
So our R.O.A.D listeners, if you're in New York, you can check out their facility. You can do a day pass, a week pass, a monthly pass. You can check out their site. You have access to all the education online.
Soundcollective.com. We also have a YouTube channel that has some of our content from the educational courses, and all of our events are live streamed and put up there.
I hope we can come back here and use your facilities again.
Looking forward to it.
Shout to Lefty and the Sound Collective. Thank you so much. What sparked their recent interest in the last 5 years to invest in?
We have 1.5 billion people with cell phones over there. Even homeless people have cell phones. Everyone's consuming music. We have the largest music catalog globally. Think about that. Think about just one genre. Bollywood alone comes out with music every day.
Movies.
That's one genre. Bollywood controlled India for the longest. Now it's all independent. Now it's artists doing rap in Hindi, rap in Punjabi. We have some of the biggest global South Asian artists now selling out arenas in America. Like, the Latinos have their run, and they've continued to have their run. Our run has been a slow build. It's been an uphill battle.
Right.
But it's been very isolated to our own people. It's people like myself and people like other DJs and talent and people who have some sort of feet in the door in the mainstream to continue to tell our stories. It's this podcast, for example. Like if someone listens to it and never knew that Nas has a label in India, you're going to go look that up. Like, holy shit, there's artists that are as big as whoever's the biggest here. Like, there's artists that are as big as Nas over there. There's artists that are as big as Jay over there. It's amazing. And they're tapped in. The two biggest people in hip-hop, Nas and Ty Ty. Like, they're monsters. And they're fully invested in it. They're not like, let's just put this money up. They're like, they're going there. They're building hip-hop schools in India. They're building hip-hop studios in India. And all that shit's coming back west. Before, we would have to do it. We'd have to take mixtapes that way.
Right.
It's coming back this way, and we have to push that culture.
I'm wondering, how do you guys see Punjabi MC? Do you see him
Legend.
as like, if we were gonna compare it to, like, I always compare things to dancehall, like, to like, is he a Shabba Ranks or Sean Paul?
Neither.
He's neither.
He's a producer. He's not an MC.
But I'm saying, as far as music and influence,
I think he's early on. He's foundation.
he's the foundation.
Not just him. It's Bali Sagu.
But I'm saying, like, someone that crosses over, like, so like
One record cross, though. He has a catalog that nobody knows about besides Indian people. His catalog's insane.
right.
So the catalog there's better records than Mundi Ato Bachike. That's just the record that had the Night Rider beat sample. It had Hove on it. But there's so much better music that has come out. That was just easy for people to absorb.
Digest, right.
Yeah.
So, like, the reason why I bring up dancehall is because, to me, Shabba Ranks was maybe the first face of dancehall in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And then, but Sean Paul was even bigger. He took it to another level. If you know, and then we can even kind of parallel it to like Afro beats, like WizKid to like Davido
To Burna
Boy. So like I'm trying to say, who is the Shabba Ranks to Sean Paul, WizKid to Burna Boy that you're seeing? Because I know that obviously there are huge artists that's in like the South Asian music scene.
Yes.
But who is going to be the face that kind of crosses it over? And so, you know, in our ignorance, because I'm bringing up Punjabi MC because he had the biggest record that still resonates to this day. You know, like I still get that request.
That's a heavy question with a lot of layers.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's Indian rap in our native tongues. India is home to many states. Every state has its own language and its own culture. Now hip hop, Bhangra, and Bollywood all have their own sort of lanes. And now
Right.
like Indo house is its own thing. Bollywood music is its own thing. Independent Indian pop music is its own thing, right? There's all these different waves. So if you're asking the question, in each genre, they have their guy. So in Punjabi music, which is arguably the biggest music that is crossing over to all of India, like I don't speak Punjabi, I'm not from Punjab, but Punjabi music has influenced everything we do. Diljit Dosanjh is probably the guy. He's the guy. Diljit sells out arenas globally. Diljit Dosanjh is the singer, the artist. That's Punjabi music, but that also is crossing over to hip hop. Like he's got a record with Sweetie that just came out. You know what I'm saying? Now, in rap, it's a guy called Divine. Divine's the guy that broke through and was the one that opened Nas's eyes up and being like, yo, I'm investing in you guys. Nas signed Divine as his first artist over in India, and now he's probably got 30, 40, 50 artists on the label,
Wow.
all doing their thing. But Divine was like the Nas. Or he's the parallel that's going to have all the catalog. But it took 20 years from what we're talking about for that to happen, because in America, we're 10 years behind hip hop or 15 years behind hip hop because we got here late. And for the shit to bubble globally and become a global phenomenon, it's taken the last 10 or 15 years. So it's definitely a layered question.
Yeah.
But Divine's the guy.
But you've been there since jump.
100%.
Like
since 10 years in, I've been there.
you've been pushing the culture since the mixtapes,
Yes.
where you were speaking of, where there was like, you know, all these kind of what do you call it, mashups?
Yeah, remixes, producers.
Yeah.
I heard one of your podcasts where you talk about the Tipsy beat.
Yeah.
And like everyone rinsed that beat on remixes or whatever.
sure,
You put any
yeah.
like R&B acapella. Like we did that too.
Yeah.
But we did that with Punjabi vocals.
Right.
Like our DJs. I have a whole mixtape where there's like 7 minutes of Tipsy with like our vocals.
So you said you amassed this large crowd and this large following
Yes.
in New York in the 90s.
Yes.
From your mixtapes, mixing kind of Desi, like music
Early,
and
the
hip-hop.
first ones were house and hip hop. And then the second set of mixtapes where I got real pro with my mixtapes and I'll do them in Pro Tools with an engineer, people rapping. That was like 2002 onwards. 2002 to 2007, I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling mixtapes.
But you were working with artists, actual artists, almost like a kind of like
I was bootlegging their shit and I was
Doing
bootlegging it. Yeah, because there was no like infrastructure. I couldn't just call the label and be like, let me get in advance. There was no such thing. It was like find the record. So I would go to England every summer. England is the predecessor to New York because England is where all the South Asians went first because they were there from the 50s and 60s.
Right.
Right after India, right after partition.
yeah. Well, I mean, England's like number one like cuisine is Indian.
Yes, and so the South Asians were there first. My
Yeah.
mom moved to England from Africa when she was 13. So my whole mom's side is in England. So every summer, you know, now what do kids do? They go to camp or whatever. Back then we didn't have that. My parents would just ship me to England. And when I'd go to England, all my I had older cousins that DJ'd as well, and older cousins into the music. So I would go to England, I'd go to their Indian neighborhoods, and I'd go buy all the tapes and CDs over there.
Wow.
And I'd bring them back here. I'd link with Juicy, and we'd go to the studio, and we'd rip the best records off, and we would make the mixtapes. So like artists like Jay Sean, if you know Jay Sean was like,
Yeah.
Jay Sean was probably the first multi-platinum South
Down.
Asian artist. Right. He's the first multi-platinum South Asian artist that I could recall that was actually singing in English in America and popped the fuck off.
Right.
That was way after. Like, a lot of people forget that part.
Right.
Like, you had a brown kid who came out with Indian records first
Yeah.
that got, somehow Lil Wayne and them, Cash Money, saw that and were like, oh, we got to bring that to America. But I was the first one to take records from those guys like Jay Sean, Raghav, Then I'd find a Timbaland record. Timbaland had an Indian artist called Rajeshwari signed to him. I'd find her records. I'd take all like the dope shit and I'd compile it into a mixtape. And I would go do it in a studio. So it became like not just me using a little 4-track at the crib, you know, analog editing. I'm like, all right, now like I'm going digital. We're using Pro Tools. We're getting a vocal booth.
Right.
We're listening to Clue tapes, and we're talking that shit over our tapes. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear one of my tapes from probably 2002 to 2006, it sounds like it's from New York. It sounds like it's from New York, but all the music is fucking our shit.
Right.
And then at the end of the tape, I'll be like, let's do a reggae set. Let's put the Coolie rhythm here. Or let's put the Diwali rhythm inside. And then we found a record with like the Diwali rhythm, but an Indian vocal on top. And so that would be the end of my tapes. The beginning of my tapes was like hard rap, you know, Punjabi vocals, Indian R&B, and then like randomly like, you know, a Timbo song.
What's good, everyone? This is Neek from Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. Whether you're just discovering the R.O.A.D podcast or a day one listener, if you've been loving the content or want more, here's your chance to support the pod. Get closer to the action and unlock exclusive content by joining our Patreon. This is for loyal listeners who want early access to new episodes 3 or 4 weeks ahead, your name in the credits of every video episode, and access to our exclusive R.O.A.D edit packs. Now, for the hardcore supporters, we've got our Tier 2 R.O.A.D for Life subscription for just $10 a month. This is an all-in package. You'll get everything from Tier 1 plus a monthly bonus episode, early access to our R.O.A.D 10 and R.O.A.D Talk interviews, behind-the-scenes content, our In the Crate series, along with exclusive unreleased content. This is your chance to support the podcast and get more of what you love. Join the family today at patreon.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Check the link in our descriptions. We appreciate you. Let's keep this journey going.
You were really kicking it up in the early 2000s.
Dog.
Right.
Mixtapes were selling for $20.
What was your biggest demographic of sales? Do you
Hand to hand. New York.
to hand? New York.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come to my party, you pay $20, you get a mixtape.
Insane.
You win.
And then everyone wanted to book you.
People did want to book me. Promoters would book me. I would never work for any promoters in New York.
Why?
Because I'll do my own shit.
Okay.
Why do I want to take it 500 when I could do 1,000 people at the door at $20 and split it up with my crew?
When did you realize that?
Immediately.
When you got fired from Club New York?
No, Club New York came later. Club New York was like my extra shit. Club New York was like, those were one-offs. We were doing one-offs.
Okay.
Like we would do a big India Day parade party or like a big party. Like, But like the weekly shit, I was DJing. I had a following. I was from Long Island. All the kids with money came from Long Island. There's a whole nother group that came from Jersey. And the Jersey kids were already doing their own parties too. So if you're from Long Island and you try to hire me, it's not happening. I'm not doing your party. I'm doing my own party. But if you're from Jersey and you're going to hire me, cool. Let me come there and hit your crowd,
right,
and get paid over there and promote my New York City parties while I'm DJing in Jersey or Philly.
So where in New York City were you throwing your parties?
Every club you could imagine.
Really?
Club New York, the Tunnel. I would do the small room at the Tunnel. I'd do like the side room at the Tunnel. I forgot what it was called.
Wow.
I did Palladium. Flex's night. Flex had a night at Palladium. Palladium was kind of dying out. We'd bring 400 or 500 in the room at Palladium. And
when did you start feeling seen or start feeling respected?
Immediately. Yeah, the DJing shit really like took off.
Like, give me a year.
96. Yeah, by 96, like the whole scene kind of knew who I was as a DJ, meaning Indian scene.
Yeah.
All I cared about was the Indian scene. I didn't really give a fuck about what was happening. All the shit I was doing in the mainstream was like extra. The Indian scene is where I like really, really focused and like.
Did you ever feel seen in the mainstream arena? Like even to this day?
A little bit, but like. A
little bit?
I don't really. It's hard to describe, but I don't know if I care about being seen.
Why is that?
I just care about the work. I care about the body of work. Like, if you're doing great work, the people that need to see you will see you. Like, a lot of DJs, like try to focus on, it sounds weird, but a lot of DJs try to focus on, like, getting acknowledgement from other DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they're not coming and paying you. Like, people, like, you got to be down with the people. The people got to fuck with you. The crowd's got to fuck with you. So as long as the crowd is fucking with me and people are coming,
right,
and people are hiring me and I'm getting paid, like, you just got to put your head down and keep putting out work and just keep working. So I've been like a working machine for 3 decades. I've never had a job. I've never worked anywhere. I was a waiter once at a catering hall called Cotillion. I made $50. I was like, yeah, this shit ain't for me. I interned for a lawyer once because at one point I thought I was going to go to law school. Worked for him for a couple months, maybe a month. Mm-hmm. And I never got paid there. And I interned at Merrill Lynch for 1 day and I walked out. Other than that, it's been this DJ mission and owning my own companies. Like I've been an entrepreneur from RIP.
Since 16, you've just been promoting parties and DJing.
From 16 to about 23. And at 23, I launched my company.
What company is that? DJ USA?
Yes.
Explain that.
So
why did you feel a need to launch a company?
And the name.
And then where did the name come from?
So my crowd came up with me, right? So wherever I was doing clubs, they followed me. Now, mind you, I'm 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. So all those people that were coming to my parties were similar ages, but some people were a little bit older. Someone might be 25. So the people that were coming to my parties were now starting to get married. And who would they call it? The DJ. The DJs that were ahead of me were looked at as old school and like not with it anymore. So I was getting calls from people like, yo, I seen you at Lansky Lounge. I seen you at Eugene's. I seen you at
Lansky Lounge.
That was the shit.
Remember that?
Etoile. I DJ'd Etoile. Etoile was popping. O-Bar. Like these places were legendary spots to people.
Yeah.
I'm DJing there. Like I'm the guy. So people would call me and be like, yo, I need you to DJ. But a wedding. I'm like, wedding? I've never done, like, I don't even know how. Like I got to figure it out. And I didn't have that much good equipment. I had the basic stuff that my parents bought me. So I had 2 friends, Tim and Rob, 2 white kids that played house music. That got me into the house music scene too. And they worked for a DJ company called DJU, DJs Unlimited. Rob worked for a company called DJs Unlimited. Every weekend I'd call them, I'd be like, yo, I need to rent speakers. I need to rent screens, I need to rent intelligent lighting. And the owner was like, who the fuck is this kid that's paying me every weekend to rent shit? Like, who is this guy? Bring him in. So I went in there and he's like, yo, have you ever thought about owning a DJ company? Like, you have so many people that call you every week to DJ. Have you ever thought about it? And he really painted the picture to me like, look, you're only going to be hot for so long. So like DJ Sharad is cool, but build something bigger than you. Like he was schooling me, like build something that will outlast you, right? One day you're going to be 30, 40, 50. Like how long can you continue? Mm-hmm. Build something. So I was like, how does it work? He's like, look, you have a company that's doing 0 revenue right now, right? You're just doing a party here. You're making a few thousand, cool, whatever. You're paying me most of it to rent the gear. He's like, I'll give you all the gear. I have a warehouse full of shit. I have an office. Come sit here. And he basically gave me an imprint deal inside of his company. You know how label imprints work?
No, explain.
Record labels, like a record label, like the infrastructure, the staff, everything's paid for already, right? He has a secretary, he has a CRM system, he has a warehouse, like all that's being paid for through his company, DJU. Mm-hmm. It didn't cost him anything to give me a little office in there and now start my own shit and take a percentage from me, right?
Got it.
So instead of me making 100% and paying most of it out to rent shit, he was like, we can grow this. And I said, how? He said, you have other DJs? I said, yeah, I got a crew. That's where Juicy comes in. That's where my boy Ash comes in. That's where a lot of other DJs that were my friends that would DJ my clubs with me. Mm-hmm. And they were already DJing like other small parties that I was doing. He was like, sign them all. He's like, we're going to sign all your DJ friends and stop pushing yourself. Like push yourself, but push other DJs too and build the whole thing. And I couldn't see it yet. And he said to me, what do you want to call it? And I said, he said, what are you? And I said, South Asian. So I said, all right, let's call it DJ USA. DJs Unlimited South Asia. Oh. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows. Like DJ USA just sounds so basic and simple and like no frills and easy. Yeah. It's actually, the acronym is DJs Unlimited South Asia. But imagine trying to market DJs Unlimited South Asia. That sounds crazy. What are you? DJs Unlimited South Asia. You walk into a spot like, so I signed. In the beginning, it wasn't even signed. It was like, yo, you want a DJ? I'll pay you $250. Come through. And I had like 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that I was doing clubs with. And we started.
What year was that?
03.
03.
Yeah,
wow.
we skipped a whole lot of shit. Like I was doing Carbon, Exit. I did all those clubs too.
So then, to this day, DJ USA, you're still doing all these events.
Active.
And and how big is your roster now?
We downsized it after COVID because we got into working with American corporations and really had to figure out how to balance that, which we'll get into. But now there's 14 DJs on the team. But then we have so many affiliate DJs. Like I'm a heavy hitter, bro.
Right.
Like, you know how many DJs I know just in the heavy hitters alone? Like, if I have a need for a specific niche or a specific type of DJ, I'm gonna just reach out to somebody that I know that's not on my roster. So a lot of the work that's South Asian, which is what it primarily was in the beginning, would go to the DJs on my roster. But in so many cases, as the company grew, the name grew, and we were starting to get work that was not South Asian.
Wow.
And
Is that where the Heavy Hitters Alliance came in at?
yeah, for sure.
When did that happen?
So I was always a fan of hip hop. I was always 1 foot inside of that and 1 foot inside of the Indian scene, right? Like, or I could be 2 feet in at both times, but I was
Right.
dedicating more time to the South Asian scene just because.
Well, you're at the Tunnel, you're at Exit, you're at all these clubs that are aligned with all these, where all these great DJs were playing, right?
Yes. So I would be in the blue room at the Tunnel. I mean, the blue room at Exit. And like Riz and SZA would be in like that hip hop cage.
Was
Tony Draper was on the main floor. There was like a gay party in the white room. Like it was like 8 parties going on at once. It was
Right.
crazy. But my party was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. at Exit. And I would be able to book all my friends to DJ.
when did you start feeling like maybe like all the respected hip hop DJs started like noticing you and acknowledge you and just kind of like respecting you and what you were doing?
When was your like, yeah, I made it? Like, I know niggas.
Well, first of all, I think I never maneuvered like I made it. I maneuvered like every day, like we gotta grind. But in 2012, so DJ Fat Fingers, are you familiar?
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Fat Fingers.
Fat Fingers and me met in the 90s record shopping.
Where did you go record shopping?
I was going to Rock and Soul a lot, but my mother...
I used to work at Beach Street, so.
My mother worked in 46th Street, so I would call in the orders and then my mom would pick them up for me.
Makes sense.
But I was shopping at Rock and Soul. I was buying a lot of house and imports at Decadence.
Okay.
I was going to 8 Ball. And then Queens was like so close to me. Like I was just like hopping on a bus or hopping in the car eventually and going to Queens. So I met Fat Fingers at Music Factory.
Gotcha.
On Jamaica.
Gotcha.
And I was shopping also at a place called Hot Wax. Do you remember that spot?
Definitely
The little
do.
spot?
DJ Sage.
Wow. Yes. The
I'm a
original
record guy.
DJ Sage.
I'm a record guy.
Yeah. So DJ Sage had the spot in the corner. And then it would be the stop. Like I go to Music Factory, Hot Wax, and VP. Like all in one day. And then there was one more reggae shop that was like in that block area. But I met Fat Fingers back in like the 90s. So me and him like would always be bumping into each other. Like I'd be like in the tunnel doing like, what were these rooms? I forgot the names of these rooms. They were like crazy. Like the fuzzy room, the
Champagne.
the this room, the that room. Yeah. But I'd be in the tunnel and I'd be in one room with my like 200 Indians and Fingers would be in another room. So we would always be there at like 9 o'clock. First one's in the door. And we would be DJing until 5, 6 in the morning, vinyl. So we'd always connect. So I see him at the record shops, then I'd see him at the clubs, and then so me and Fingers were cool and friends before he was a heavy hitter. So that was like he was my first like hip hop DJ friend, like real hip hop friend, not industry friend, like real friend.
Right.
We always stay cool. In 2012, a lot of this happened simultaneously. So DJ USA is 9 years old. I'm getting tired, not tired, but it's like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'm doing South Asian high profile weddings every single weekend and I'm booking 10 to 20 weddings a week.
Wow.
Right? So I would go do 3, Juicy would go do 3, Ashish would go do 2, my other friends would go do 2, 3, and we were doing like 10 to 20 parties a week, but I was controlling all of it. I was on top of it.
Insane.
Pause. First pause. And I was getting like, yo, I need to do more. And Fat Fingers was like, yo, there's a sneaker store called BX Sports in the Bronx, and they want to hire me to DJ. Can you go with me to the meeting because I need you to do the equipment? Because Fingers knew I had all the equipment.
Right.
So he's like, I'm a DJ. I'm charging this much for that. You bring in the sound and charge your fee, and then we'll cut it up. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. So we go to the meeting with BX Sports, and he introduces me to the owner of BX Sports named Al. Al says to me, we get cool, whatever. The gig actually that gig never panned out. So at the end of it, this is a great moment for me. And this is why I owe Fat Fingers a lot. And I'll never forget him because of how he positioned me, like where he...
That's a good pause. Right
yes, that's a great pause. I was about to pause, and then
no, it's not a flavor.
Phenomenal pause. So, wow, red line. Fingers brought me to BX Sports, and at the end of the meeting, Al was like, "Yo, this shit. Like, I don't really need you to do sound. The place has sound, but I'm still gonna hire Fingers."
Yeah.
So I had picked up Fingers from Queens, took him to the Bronx in my truck, like gas, tolls. Back then, you're calculating all this shit.
Right.
It was like $100 a day for me. So BX Sports owner gave Fat Fingers 2 pairs of slippers. He gave him a Jordan 8 slipper and a Jordan 4 slipper.
Yeah.
Like
slides.
Slides, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yo, just thanks for coming through. Like, I'm gonna get you you're gonna hire you to DJ, but no sound. Like, so my job, I didn't make any money that day. So we're back in the car. I drop him off to his crib in Maspeth, and at the end he's like, "Yo, I'm sorry it didn't work out, bro." I'm like, "Nah, it's cool. Like, this shit happens. Like, it is what it is." He's like, "Yo, take these slides. Like, you can have these. Like, I don't need them." We were both the same sneaker size, 13. So he gave me the Jordan 8 slides and the Jordan 4 slides. And like, he gave it to me. I was like, "Yo, thanks, bro. You didn't have to do that." But like, we were into like footwear and shit like that. So it was great. And I still have those slides today, by the way. A week goes by and the guy Al calls me. And he's like, "Yo, I know it didn't work out for this event, but I got something with Adidas. Pro Style is DJing. Can you do the sound for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. How much?" And like, we worked it out, and it was like very light money. But it was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do something with Adidas.
Right.
Like, this is dope." So I go do the gig, and I get to talking, and I talk to Pro Style, and I talk to the Adidas guy. I'm like, "Yo, like, what's the budget for something like this for you to DJ?" He's like 5. I'm like, 500? He's like, "Nah, 5 racks." I'm like, "Wait, we're inside a store that nobody's coming to. There's like, a customer comes in, buys something, you're playing some music.
Right.
That's like an activation. That's what was going on." He's getting $5,000 to DJ. And I'm like, "Oh, I need to figure out how to get into this world." So I talked to Al, and I was like, "Can you connect me with the guy from Adidas?" And he connects me with the Adidas marketing rep at that time. The Adidas marketing rep and me build a relationship. And from 2012 to 2017, I become his go-to for all production. And somewhere in there, he realized that I knew all the DJs. So he's like, "Yo, it's just easier to call you to like DJ. If you want to DJ, great. If you want to book another DJ, great." And my whole thing always was like, work with people. I've never been a person to like have the bag for myself. I always felt like you can make more money and more relationships working with others and reaching out to people. So I would start reaching out to people like, "Yo, Fingers, like, yo, I got a stack for you over here. You want to come DJ this?" "Absolutely." "Why Fingers?" I'm reaching back for him now. Now I got the contract. I got the connect. Let me start booking all my friends to get this money. And from 2012 to 2017, I start doing heavy work with Adidas. So that was the Ye era. That was the James Harden era. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
I'm doing the country now with Adidas.
Oh, wow. It's the whole country.
It blows
I
up
was going to
quick.
ask if it was just New York or if it was...
It starts with a retail store in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And then it's like, they're like, "Yo, you guys really could do everything." And all of a sudden, I'm building...
That's a whole new set of logistics for you, no?
Big time, but that's where my team comes in and my partners come in. That's why Juicy's sitting with me today.
Right.
Because in 2014, Juicy was rocking with me as a DJ. And he got his master's degree. And after he did his his work in his field for like a year, I'm like, "Yo, you ready to leave that shit and come to this?" And in 2014, we bought out my American partner, who was kind of disconnected anyway. We bought him out. At DJU. He was my partner. We bought him out, and Juicy bought his shares and some of my shares in DJ USA.
Wow.
And me and Juicy have been on a run from 2014 to now. And inside that time, I got Adidas in 2012. Like, just so you understand clarity on budgets, like Adidas was probably paying me $500,000 a year to consult.
Wow.
And I was breaking everybody off with that. I wasn't making $500,000, but in the beginning, just to give you clarity of like what kind of corporate budgets look like that's light for a corporate budget.
How many activations is that a year?
That time, the average activation is like 20K, 15K, 10K.
Wow.
Yeah.
And well, how many activations a year?
Like divided up, like whatever it was.
No. Oh, okay.
Like what's 500,000 divided by, call it. Yeah. So
like 50. Oh, like almost every week.
Yeah.
There was an activation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In a different city.
My God, Chicago. We were fucking flying out cruise to Chicago.
So how were you coordinating the sound? You're just hitting up locally?
Yeah, but it wasn't just sound anymore.
Right.
Now it was like, yo, the DJ's
the whole
light
production,
part.
Right.
Yo, in the summer of 2017, me, Juicy, and our crew built 20 pop-up barbershops across the country in Adidas stores or Adidas retail partners, like whatever those retail partners were at that time. We were doing that. So we were booking the DJs, we were booking the catering, we were booking the security. But remember, I have club experience. I know security. I know security guy in Manhattan. Yo, you know someone in Philly? Yeah, I got you someone. And it was that.
Right.
So I'm just using a network.
Building the network, yeah. Yeah, the DJs I had everywhere. And in the middle of that, you know, I meet all the big time DJs.
And then the heavy hitters thing comes in and just...
So I had this vision, the heavy hitters would pop in. Fat Fingers becomes a heavy hitter in 2012. I have this vision. I started working with a videographer who was also a rapper named Juggernaut.
Oh, wow.
Juggernaut used to rap, and he used to work with Camilo. Jackson Heights. Do you remember Jug or no?
NYC.
Yep, you got it, exactly. Somehow Jug befriended me, and we became cool. And I loved Camilo. I was a huge fan of Camilo. Like, I thought Camilo, and I still think Camilo is one of the greatest club DJs of New York City, of the country. Like, a lot of guys try to emulate and have learned, and that's great. But Camilo, like, how many guys have had a run like that? How many guys can do that? So Camilo's videographer was Juggernaut.
And really kind of rebranded or like created his own style of mic work. That people are just especially after Kid Capri.
Right,
know?
That's that whole lineage. It's like what Capri does, but a different way. But like your third turntable is your mic, right? Like it's two turntables and a mic. But I loved what Camilo was doing. His videos were popping off on YouTube. I wanted to know who his videographer was. So Jug was his videographer. So I started hiring Jug. I was like, yo, can you make me videos like that for YouTube? Because I need to promote DJ USA. So I'm like, I'm doing a wedding, but remember, like, there's a stigma about weddings. Like, weddings are type corny. If you're a wedding DJ in that time, it's like, it's kind of corny. But we knew it wasn't, because we knew what we were playing at there. And our crowd, we were basically building clubs at weddings. I was taking massive lighting, massive video screens, massive sound, and Indian people have the best parties. Like, we have amazing parties. So I was getting hired to build clubs inside weddings, and I wanted Jug to capture that because I knew YouTube marketing was the way to go. So after working with Jug for like a while, I was like, yo, you know what? I really fuck with the heavy hitters, man. And Fat Fingers had just became a heavy hitter. So I'm friends with him. I'm friends with DP1 at the time. I somehow connect to Cast One. I'm cool with all these guys. Like, I want to be a heavy hitter. I really wanted to be a heavy hitter. I loved what they were doing. I was a big fan. And Jug connected me to Enough. And we have a big meeting at Juggernaut's apartment on 82nd Street in Jackson Heights in 2012. My wife is corporate. She was working for JP Morgan. She made a deck, like a presentation of like what we, DJ USA and the heavy hitters, can do together. Showed her that we were already working with Adidas. We had all these ways to make money together. And I wanted to partner with the heavy hitters. Not yet maybe as a DJ, I figured that would come, but let's do some business with the heavy hitters. And I presented to Enough. Meeting went great, cool, we like it, whatever. And it flatlined. And like, they just never call me. Enough never call me again. And if you know Enough, it's like, you had him here, right? I don't know how close you are, if you know enough.
People's.
Enough is one of the greatest people. He's one of the biggest hearts and non-selfish people that I have met in this hip-hop thing.
Yeah.
Like, if Enough doesn't like you or doesn't click with you, like, peace, sayonara, you're out. Like, it's easy for him to be like, I don't fuck with this. But if he accepts you and embraces you, like, he'll give you anything. He's, he'll treat you like gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, and me and Enough never talked about it, but I don't know if he ever, he just didn't see what I saw. I saw this heavy hitter thing could be corporate. We could lock in, we could get, I had Adidas, and by that time, like, other brands were already calling me now. So I'm like, yo, we could really blow this shit up. I couldn't do it by myself because all my DJs were South Asian, and Adidas wasn't checking for us.
Right.
They were checking for hip-hop DJs. So I was like, this is a perfect synergy. But it never panned out. And it took years of me being loyal to the heavy hitters and not, like, backing down for E to finally be like, all right, let's put this guy down. It took a long time. Like 10 years. Like 10 years of me, like, just doing the work.
What do you mean by being loyal to the heavy hitters?
Like, okay, in this game, no one owes anybody anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, you got to feed your family, feed your crew. Right? I positioned us and my team really strong. I was getting corporate money at a super young age. I ran nightclubs. I ran parties. I flew around the world. I owned an event company. I started also investing at that time into other people's businesses and doing that whole shit on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I stand on my own 2 feet. Like, I don't really need anybody at this point. I have a crew. I'm good. If I ever need to hire a DJ for something, I'll figure it out. So I didn't owe anybody anything. But what I did know is that I loved the heavy hitters. I had an immense love and appreciation for what they were doing. So even if Enough wasn't, like, checking for me yet, I was going to continue to work with the heavy hitters.
So you were still booking the heavy hitter DJs?
Absolutely. I was booking everybody.
But if you're
not everybody, I shouldn't say. I was booking a lot of the New York guys.
But if you're booking their, like, the heavy hitter DJs, what is the need to be affiliated?
What do you mean?
From your perspective, why did you have to, like, partner up with them?
I loved the heavy hitter movement, and I still do, and I'm so grateful to be a heavy hitter. I feel like it's one of the greatest crews to be part of.
Now, this is as an example for your business model, or just on the strength of their camaraderie?
Both. Like, first of all, the skill set. I think Enough and Camilo, even Cass. I'm a huge fan of Cass One. I've been a fan of Cass One since RIP. It's just like a brotherhood, and you don't really know about the brotherhood until you're really down. Right? Like, people could look at it, well, you don't need them. But that's not what it's all about. Camilo gave a great speech when my class was inducted. We all went to dinner, and it was like very, very few of us. It might have been 20 people at this dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And Camilo was like, yo, cool. You guys are all now heavy hitters. Like, if y'all are here to take from the heavy hitters, you might as well just, like, not be part of this. But the reality is like, what can you give back? What can you do for the team?
Mm-hmm.
And I come from teamwork. Everything I've ever done, I've done with a team. I've never done shit solo. I've always kept people around me. So I felt like I could be a great team player and add value. And I was adding value, not being a heavy hitter. I had already kind of written off the fact that they would even make me a heavy hitter. Like, I was like, all right, fuck it. They're not going to make me a heavy hitter. I'm just going to continue to work with the people I like from the heavy hitters, and we're going to continue to work and make money together and have a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I gave Sage her first corporate check, or one of her, I don't know if you know Sage.
Yeah, she had that viral
yes.
with Coi Leray. She had that remix.
The Busta shit.
With the Busta, yeah.
Yeah, but I put Sage in her first activation ever. Look at her now. She's activation queen. I mean, she's killing it. She's with the Mets. She's here. She's there.
Right.
But, like, her first activation ever was Adidas. I think. Or it was early in that world.
It's interesting because, even speaking with you, you're kind of like, I really don't care about mainstream. Like, I built, like, my business and my community within the culture, within my Desi culture. And it's almost like hearing that you wanted to be a part of the heavy hitters. You really must have connected with them to where it was beyond business.
I have some really good friends and brothers inside of the crew.
Right.
But remember, there's 100 plus of us. So there's heavy hitters I've never met or talked to or have their number.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you click with who you click. It's like a big like how many cousins you got?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I have cousins that I haven't seen in 20 years. Right. So similarly, like you could look at the heavy hitters as a big family, and there's people that you just will never meet or haven't seen. That's why we have a retreat every year. And the retreat is great. Like whenever I've gone, I'm connecting with the guys from Chicago or Texas or LA or whatever.
Is it also like in your earlier years in New York, maybe there wasn't kind of that acceptance from the outside? And this is the first crew, thanks to Fat Fingers and maybe others in the heavy hitters that
so
kind of accepted you, right?
Fingers.
Yeah.
Remember, Fingers is a ridiculously good DJ.
He's,
Very good, very good DJ.
EP1, Boogie Blind.
Yeah, that's my home.
Okay? These are guys like I've known for way before I was a heavy hitter. And I'm not a turntablist by any means. I don't cut. I just play good music. Like I know how to build a room up and play music. Those guys are monster those are DJs, right? Like those guys are fucking animals. So they already co-sign me and be like, yo, Sharad, yo, you could play. And I've played a lot of parties with Fingers, and sometimes like when you play with a DJ like that, you're like, oh, I don't know if I could go after. But he's always given me that boost. That kind of like, nah, you're fucking nasty. Who cares if you don't cut? Like, you play great music. And that's what our bond is through music. I also have a huge commitment to my community. And I knew this Indian thing, being Indian and being South Asian, is way bigger than me. And I knew that we had to get inside of doors and rooms as a community, and someone had to do it first. And no one was doing it. Like, we were so isolated. So I'm like, I have to do that. So when I sat with Enough and Enough kind of like really understood it, I was like, yo, the way you got like Buddha and Lead in Asia, like, yo, make me the guy for the South Asian shit over here. I don't want to be the only one, but I need to be in the door first. I need to get here. You need to give me a seat at the table, bro.
Right.
And I would go to his crib and show him YouTube videos of like our artists and our shit. I'm like, yo, we're here, bro. Like, get ahead of this. Like, you need me and I need you. So let's work together.
That's dope.
And eventually, like he got it. And I'm sure there's even people in our camp that don't get it. Because, like, again, I don't chase the clout. I'm not trying to be the biggest DJ. I'm just trying to work with the community and put our people on. And continue to put myself on as well and feed my family through this. I told you, I've never had a job. Imagine that. Like, I could walk out of my office at 3 o'clock and take my kids to sports practice. I can't do that if I have a corporate job.
Right.
But that's this DJ thing.
It's interesting because when you walked in and we met and we were talking, we were hanging out early before we started recording. You're fairly tall, but like, I don't know, they're like your style, your presence, your dapperness. It reminded me of like Clark Kent.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Clark Kent.
Yeah, kind of.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of.
And I told him that instantly. I was like, you know, when you walked in, you have this like same swag, same like same style.
No, I think it was more so hearing him was like a sincerity. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But on top of that, even his nature, it feels like it's very reminiscent to Clark Kent.
Wow.
And you have a tight relationship with Clark Kent, yeah?
Had,
yes.
yeah. I worked with him very closely for like 5 to 6 years. 6 years I was with him like all the time.
When did y'all meet?
I was working for Adidas. It was All-Star Weekend in Houston. And my Adidas client said we have Clark Kent and DMC. So DMC and Clark Kent are doing this Adidas thing.
Like Run DMC, yeah.
We need you to produce it. We need all the audio. We need the DJ booth. We need everything. But like, I'm like, it's Houston? Cool, we got it. Like, I was always figuring it out. Remember, because I had DJ'd all over the country doing Indian parties.
Yeah.
So I knew sound guys everywhere. So I didn't have to fly my equipment out. I would just call my man up in Houston and be like, yo, Scoop, you got, DJ Scoop? He's a Houston dude, but I called Scoop up. Scoop, I need this, and this for Clark. Can you handle it? I can't come to Houston. I need to manage this shit remotely. And he's like, yeah, I got you. And he charged me a fee. We made it work. I hired Scoop. Scoop ran this production for me. And the Adidas contact gave me Clark's number. Like, yo, call Clark, make sure you can. Remember, Clark didn't have management. Like, Clark was his own manager.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Clark was his own.
Famously.
Like, he's known for, like, just being in the street and you run into him and be like, yo, take my number. Like, oh, yo, hit me. Yo, hit me. I'm like, I don't have your number.
Accessibility.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So he gave me, like, the Adidas guy gave me his number. He's like, call Clark Kent. Remember, now my Adidas guy had already done so much shit for Adidas. So I'm like, trusted. Like, I'm not going to hound the talent. I'm just going to call them and be like, yo, what you need? So he says, I need these turntables. I think it was 1,200 at the time. I forgot the mixer. I forgot what the gear was, but like Clark's rider continually changed. But we'd always keep up with it. And I did the sound for him and I did it remotely. After the event, I texted him. I was like, yo, how was everything? He's like, yo, everything was amazing. Thank you so much. Great. I said, lock me in. Like, anytime you DJ anywhere, like, let me run your sound. And if there's an opportunity, I'd love to open up in your rooms. That was kind of like, he's like, oh, you DJ? I'm like, yeah, bro. And that's how we met. And fast forward a few months later, there was a big sneaker show going on in Brooklyn. And there was a kid named Chris Lee throwing it. And I was heavy getting into the sneakers, like just heavy in it. And I saw Clark Kent's name on the flyer. I didn't want to bother him. So I called the promoter. I said, yo, what's up? I said, yo, you got Clark DJing? He's like, yeah. I said, yo, I'm his sound man. He said, you are? I said, yeah. I said, he told me to call you, which he didn't. He's like, he told me to call you and make sure his rider was set. I was like, what you got? And he's like, oh, I got these like CD, maybe he had CDJs at the time. But I was like, no. Clark's not, he's going to walk in and not DJ. Juanito was DJing that event too. That's the day I met Juanito. I was like, Clark is not going to DJ unless you have this, this, and this. He goes, well, where do I get that? I don't have that. I said, lucky, I have it. He's like, all right, cool. I said, it's $250 for me to bring it. He's like, all right, cool. I said, pay me cash when I get there. I never called Clark and told him that I finessed my way into that event. But I get to the event, it's like 3,000 people, mob scene, sneaker culture was like, not even, I can't even call it culture. Sneaker enthusiasm was just at an all-time high. It was insane. And I'm into the culture, I'm into the vibes, I'm into everything. It was hip hop and footwear in the same arena. You can't beat it. And I go set up next to the DJ. Juanito had some CDJs or whatever. I set up next to him on a table. Clark walks in. He's like, oh, you're here? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I brought your shit. I was like, oh, thank you very much. And that's it. And from that on, we had started working together. Fast forward, a venue opened up in Long Island, which was huge. And the owner, Jewish guy named Mike Siegel, wanted to do a sneaker event in there. Do you guys know what sneaker events are?
Yeah.
Buy, sell, trade shows. This is pre-Complex Con, pre-like Fanatics Fest. This is like hundreds of tables.
It's like a shoe convention. It's like a sneaker convention.
Yes, where people are buying, selling, and trading sneakers.
It's like the Dunk Exchange, right? A little bit?
Yeah, so we were, right, Dunk Exchange was already moving at that time.
Right.
So this was in Long Island. So the owner of this venue knew Clark, and he's like, yo, I know Clark Kent. We could do a sneaker show and you could produce it. And I'm like, cool, I know Clark too. He's like, I'm gonna have Clark here tomorrow. We're gonna do a walkthrough of this venue. And Clark comes to this venue. Mike, the owner of the venue, is there, and I pull up. I walk in, and Clark's like, what you doing here? Mike's like, yo, he's our partner. We're gonna do the sneaker show together. Sharad, Clark, Mike. I'm gonna run the sneaker show, and we're gonna build this shit the fuck up. And Clark was the face, and I was all the muscle. I was all the dirty work to produce it, get everything else done.
Wow.
And we had a run, man. Like, we had a fucking run. Like, we were doing the biggest sneaker shows, and Clark wanted to do it because it didn't compete with any other shows.
Yeah.
It was in Long Island, it was in the Cut, but the thing about Long Island is there's a lot of money there. And we're very close to Queens and Brooklyn. So all Queens and Brooklyn would come out. My vision was, we need to make this hip hop. Remember, I've been in the Indian party scene, the Indian wedding scene for a really long time. I've always wanted to do the hip hop shit. Really didn't want to do the clubs anymore, but I still wanted to build the environment. The DJ booths in the middle, There's like a floor in front of it. We're on a stage. It's a branded DJ booth. There's thousands of people. There's a fucking immense amount of lighting in there. Like, this is not a sneaker show with just tables in a sweaty room.
Right.
This is like an experience. Created a VIP room, created all this shit inside of this massive warehouse that this guy Mike owned. And we had a run for like 4 or 5 years, not 3 years of doing these sneaker shows. And that was it. And then from there, Clark just like, anytime he was doing anything, I'd call him and be like, yo, what you doing? He'd be like, yo, I'm going to DJ this Rock Nation thing. I was like, can I come? He's like, yeah, pick me up. And I'd pick him up, and I'd be in the room with like people like Biggs and Emery, and I'd be like, I was like, you know, these are heroes to me. These are hip hop heroes to me. And I'm like standing in the room, like just fly on the wall, like learning and understanding how to move. And that was a really, really great time for me.
Wow.
Backstory is I dropped out of college when I was young. I left in my senior year with 9 credits. Clark's wife, Keisha, was in a business program for Goldman Sachs called Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. We became cool. We became family friends. And she had done this program. And she's like, yo, Sharad, you got a business that's flourishing. You need to go into this program. And it's because of her that I ended up going into the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program to grow my business.
If you were to break up your, like, kind of your day and your focuses in percentages, because right now
2025 is a bad year.
Is it?
For me, like, to break it down for you. Because I've done so much that I've scaled back my lifestyle. I've developed a new lifestyle.
Okay, well, let's talk about that then. So then, what is it now compared to, like, when did you start scaling down from last year?
No, I think post-COVID, we tried to get smarter.
Okay.
Yeah, post-COVID, but the 2 years post-COVID were our biggest years in history.
Right.
Like, it was insane. Like, money was just flying in. Brands were just calling. Nobody wanted to do the work. Companies had shut down. We were in the trenches, bro.
Right.
Me, him, our team, on unemployment, working. Like, we were on unemployment all of COVID. But we retained our employees and followed all the rules for this employee retention tax credit shit.
Yeah.
We have a great accountant. Our accountant's been with us for 22 years. He's always guided us the right way. And like, we had a big run, 21, 22, 23, to the point where, like, I have kids, my team, a lot of my guys are married with kids, like, they want to work differently. So we had to adapt the way our company moves to move with the lifestyle of the people that we have working with us, if that makes sense.
Right.
That does.
Makes a lot of sense.
So before the pandemic, what was your focuses mostly like? Was 50% of it towards the activation?
Yes, 50% brand work, 50% DJ work through DJ USA.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was a clean 50-50.
And then what about the private events and what?
That's in that 50%. So it's 50% of
Got
like
it.
private production, DJing, like half of that is that. And then half of it was going to the same work, just different scopes and different budgets working with brands.
And then now in 2025, what is it?
I'd say we intentionally scaled down, where I cut my relationship with Foot Locker in 2023. And now we're very strategic on what brands we work for, because these brands will kill you. Like
Foot Locker just got sold.
the Dick's, yeah.
Sport.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? The expectations or
What happened where?
with Foot Locker? Like,
So
and you're saying like kind of these brands will kill you.
These brands
What's
work-
the warning?
I don't think it's a warning. I think we were small trying to do big shit. Like, we're a small shop. There's 12 of us in the office.
Right.
I'm competing with guys that have 100 people in their office. That's the companies I'm competing with.
Right.
And when you run something for so long, you do something for 6 years, and you're hyper focused on getting the job done and losing quality of life for it. There comes a time where you got to make a decision. And for me, as a head of my company, I'm like, yo, we can't just chase the bag. There's a bigger thing here. We have children. Like, I don't want to be out at 8 o'clock at night trying to network or trying to meet somebody. I don't want to be DJing 3-4 nights a week. I need to be proactive in our approach to everything.
You guys were getting burnt out, right?
I think if I was operating at the level we were today, that we were 3-4 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe my wife would hate me. Maybe my kids wouldn't know me. And that's not cool for me.
Or maybe your health will be deteriorating at a very
absolutely.
Got to put it in a different perspective.
Absolutely.
We're
So you gotta pick and choose what you want to do. And I think we made runs. Like we bought houses, we invested, we did a lot of shit in that time. So we were able to now be a little more selective on who we work with and when we work.
But also the pandemic kind of puts things into perspective a little bit, right? Because you get to spend time with your family a little bit more, and then when you try to go back to when you try to go back to the rat race of 2019, you're like, this makes no sense.
Why?
You know, but up to 2020, that was the way we lived, right?
Yeah, go to work, come back late, 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
And my kids also are at an age where they need me. You know, it's funny, like my kids are 10 and 8. And I joke to my wife, I'm like, you know, when the kids are 18 and they're in college, like we're free again. Free in like a way where like we could do whatever we want. Or they'll be in college and we could, or do whatever they want to do. They'll be independent and we could kind of like travel. And like
you would think so, right?
Hopefully. And I could hopefully turn up again. Like I told you, I'm never going to stop DJing. Unless I like there's no way I'd stop DJing unless God didn't permit me to DJ anymore.
Right.
But like, I got to do it on my own terms. I got to DJ where I want to DJ, how I want to DJ, and for what money I want to DJ. I don't want to DJ everywhere. I want to DJ where I'm needed.
When you look back kind of like to the Adidas point to where you are now, and like even meeting with Clark Kent, the heavy hitters, you know, what was your relationship like with Clark Kent? Like, where did you guys connect?
We connected.
Do you see him as a mentor to a certain degree?
I did.
So what was that mentor relationship between you and Clark?
I mean, I would just ask a lot of questions. Like I'll be in the car with him, you know, hours on end, like going to promote our shows or going to meetings or going to podcasts or going wherever. And I would just continually ask questions. And you obviously know the guy. He's a great storyteller. He was a great story. He was one of the best storytellers ever. So it's easy to like be in a car and I'll put on Reasonable Doubt and be like, tell me about this.
Right.
Literally, tell me about this. Like, think about it. So that was that.
Was there anything that resonated really to this day? Like maybe one thing that really resonated between you and him, that maybe it was advice or it was something that he told you?
Taught me how to move. And he also taught me a lot of things not to do. There's a lot of things like I learned from Clark to not do.
Like what would that be? If you want to share, if you don't want to share.
Yeah, I think we'll move on from that.
Okay.
We'll move on from that.
All right. I don't mean to bring out the Clark thing like to make you uncomfortable.
No. It's not uncomfortable. It's just like, you know.
It's amazing how many people he had a hand in coming into their lives. And
I mean, like I'll tell you that like a lot of people I know in this game today and got like the respect from was like sometimes in hip hop, and it could be in other scenes too. I'm just speaking from a hip hop perspective, and maybe Goldfinger, you could like chime in on this. But when you do work and when you're doing stuff, and you could be great at what you do, if you don't get a cosign or like walked in the door, it's a lot harder to progress. But if you're like, I could be the same person, do the same exact work, and now all of a sudden, like Enough puts me in the room and says, yo, Def Jam, you got to talk to this guy. He's your guy.
Right.
Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Like the cosigns in this thing are, at least for me, it's been really, 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 I've always been head down, put the work in, but sometimes you just don't get the call.
Right.
But when you have someone that's already made it and has an immense amount of respect, you get access a lot quicker.
Right.
And that's something like,
whereas almost your whole life you've never had that. You've never had anyone co-sign you, and no one's ever.
And I wanted it.
Right.
And I wanted it. I was like, yo, put the word in, bro. But like, there's a lot of gatekeepers in this thing.
It's crazy because there's like a trust. When someone like trusts you to co-sign you, you don't want to let them down, right?
Absolutely. And that's like the biggest thing I could tell you about being a heavy hitter, and Enough specifically. Like, he will go to bat for you if he believes that you're capable of doing something. That's why so many people are loyal to him. So like when you talk about legacy, like if there's anything I could, like if at the end of my career, if my career ended yesterday, if I die yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, don't say that.
If I die yesterday, right? If I died yesterday, And people could say, yo, Sharad was a good dude. My son could say that. My daughter could say that. My wife could say that. And then all the people that I've worked with through the years could be like, yo, he did this for me. He helped me out. Or he put me in this space. And like, that's legacy. And I think that's something that, you know, as a DJ who's always like loved DJ culture and worked with people and aimed to impact, you know, that's something that you could look at as high level success more than any business venture or gig or accolades. Like leaving a legacy of people saying you were great and you did the right thing for people is super important.
So having like enough Clark Kent heavy hitters look after you, are you kind of like doing the same to look after, you know, other DJs? You always have been, but is that kind of like a major focus for you?
At this stage, yes, 100%. Like I kind of feel like I'm successful. Where like if I never DJ'd again and DJ USA was to disappear, like I'd be good. I told you I'm going to DJ forever, but like the younger kids that have invested in me to lead them, it will be a shame if I can't do my part and kind of help them in whatever they need. So like I got 2 nephews, for example. I got 2 nephews who are in their mid-20s. One's 28, one's like 25. They're my first cousin's kid. So technically, but she's like my sister, so I call them my nephews. We gave them iPods when they were like 4 and 6 or whatever. We gave them iPods when they were babies. By the time the older one was 12, DJ Rohan, we got him a MacBook. They started DJing right away.
Wow.
And they've been DJing since they were like 12 and 9 or whatever.
Wow.
And they lived in the island of St. Thomas. They ended up going to school. The older one went to school in Boston, and in Boston, he DJ'd all the clubs out there. When he was done with college, he's like, yo, Unc, I need a job. I'm like, no, you don't, just DJ. He's like, how can I do that? I was like, come work at DJ USA. We'll figure out a job for you, and we'll give you a 9 to 5 in the office, and then we'll build up your DJ career. And he's like, all right, bet. And he came and he invested in me. I don't know if you get what I'm saying? Like he came and took the risk and said, yo, I'm going to come and leave my life in Boston and come to live in Long Island, New York and work at this company and help you continue to build your 2 agencies.
Yeah.
And he's been with me since before the pandemic when he graduated. But like that, I have so many different kids. And like my 2 nephews, for example, like they both DJ. One's like full-time DJ, one's part-time DJ. But they come and invest in me to help them with their career. And in the middle of it, like a year later, their pops dies. Like their father died. They're in their early 20s and their father died. That's, you know, crazy. So it's like there's some sort of duty there that I got to fulfill. Like I got to kind of help you guys. I got to put you in position. Ultimately, it's like the work ethic and what you do. But if you look at every DJ that's ever been around me, like I put that, the battery in their back. Like it's up to you, but if I see you working and if you're busting your ass and you're doing great, I'm going to co-sign you to the fullest and I'm going to put you out there. I have the power to do that. I have the contract with this agency or this brand or this client. I'll make sure you're working.
Yeah.
But you got to put the work in to be in that position. Like imagine like you get into the Super Bowl, but you haven't practiced and you're not prepared. Right? Like, so I try to tell these DJs around me, like, yo, continue to practice and prepare. Put the music first. Like, this whole thing is built on music. Whatever we have is built on DJing. All the business and all that is cool, but if everything folds, you got to still be able to DJ.
Yeah.
So no matter what I've done, like, everything could fold. I could still DJ if I need to.
Yeah, you're paying it forward. And it's you're taking care of family.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
And there's a bunch of young DJs on my, all like assassins. Killers. But, they're still putting in that work.
Yeah. Sharad, man, thank you for coming through on the podcast, man. I appreciate you coming here and telling your story. I think it's like extremely important also because you're representing a community. Even me, myself, I've been ignorant about. Like I haven't, I'm kind of tapping into it for the first time.
I hope you guys continue to tap in, and I think it is my job at this point.
Yeah.
Like I've taken the responsibility of like waving our flag.
Yeah.
But making sure that like we're in rooms that we were never in before.
It's eye-opening, man. This is going to be an episode I think that people are going to check out and see and just like, oh, okay, I didn't notice that. You know, it's dope.
Sharad, thanks so much for coming through on the podcast, fam.
Thank you, man.
Really appreciate it, man. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you, you know.
Will you come to one of our Desi events?
Yeah. I would love to come to a Desi.
Yeah, tell us when.
I'm gonna make sure that I link with you and the next time I'm doing something in
Put
the
that
city.
in the flyer
I would
book.
love to.
Yeah, there's no more flyers, bro.
I gotta put that on my bucket list with like an Indo warehouse.
So I'm
event.
definitely going on the 12th to their joint. That
Okay.
joint is going to be big.
Oh,
September
okay.
12th. That joint is going to be amazing. And there's a lineup that they're announcing, like one of the other, like the talent is going to be amazing at that night. So that would be a great night to
All right,
connect.
let's do it then. Let's do it.
All right, so
All right,
DJ
Sharad,
Sharad.
thank you, man.
Heavy hitters.
thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.